Drew baby ana oman ni mu nsem no senye oman hodo na sabi ebema ye nya abotre se de abotre dwa aboa tatia ne ho na nsu a me mani bi ho a na ho hia on se oba oye ashawo ni ba ontu owari nefu.
Okay.
What you say? Na se ye dwen oman ho ne ahwe ne nkan ko ne nimpuntu a MPP ni ye the last person also obetufo. MPP ni say ye say obi MPP ni na ono ekotu John Mahama abanfo ana say government of Ghana wa hu say bibi kochew no wokoka ono the last person e wo say obie na no e de ne sia aduasa nwotwe eka bi. It's just sometimes so nauseating to the point say akwai to say woma ye Nicodemus sesi say yawo wo mofoforo enti no nia Ghana for kura refi no omo pese omo force ma ye refi.
Okay.
MPP ni to Ghana for any Ghana mine sebi ya banfo MPP ni. No, I mean about sometimes na I said nipa oh you see this whole thing about the omo ye ni nyina no.
Yeah.
Ade ba kope 8 years under that rule of Akufo-Addo ne Bawumia no. It was nothing democratic.
Yeah.
They only created what we call a syndicate of criminals. And it was a syndicate. Chief Justice Kahon, a lawyer for Kahon, a judge for Kahon. Now Akufo-Addo sitting in that office no as president no. Decided say me make sure say me ye friend say o man no in such a way say sempo me nya mampani a metimi control man no from ifie na John Mahama de san say no ohoro nanim kosoro ntino oba ye no wahwe na oye hwehan because de na Akufo-Addo ye no na the plan say e was say o hand it over to Bawumia say the be ya say Bawumia mpo a president or your president or no Akufo-Addo na controlling no. And unfortunately no John Mahama enya tumi ebedi mampani and sinto a war system ni mu no eno no de board ru a Yakopon ye na dom a Ghana fo su gina so e can say car no asai na wo su be overhauling dia and ye be ma tumi amwa ba be overhauling ne bro fo ba ko any reset. And I say okay to reset no it means to say and your mother than in I den atwam to say no ye ba be ye abode afoforo ben election year John Mahama winning ye Ghana ni bia say it is the second independence of this country. Because and the Akufo-Addo no na slave masters ne kura pa no ya brofo no na omo ntete yen te se de na Akufo-Addo a ono ka brofo na broni ebusa de pardon Akufo-Addo slange prete broni
wa ya de bizande
pardon
anka kansa de hwenim ti
otimi kasana se broni na ono no
e de brofo ba
no broni bra ko busa ne se pardon because what brofo ne ho ama sabi antelope crowd otimi ka anchela o no, baby and Yakodru no. Now Akufo-Addo was even misbehaving more than the colonial masters. Anna, Yajiafa Hudi. Yajiafa Hudi. Kana phone in a sebi. Petition the crime mama say any answer. It's because of some of Yemubi we were too lazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, I have a petition very ready to present to the president about the dismissal of the Chief Justice. And I have never even used the word Chief Justice because there is nothing justice about that institution. There is nothing. What is the meaning of justice? Peri yo anyhow. In a missing a year, you say, me, yawo me. Me birth certificate, you know. Yawo me organ honey a birth certificate. Birth certificate, you know. So me free India, and I'm a bag Ghana ha, and I me nyimu ye, and I'm a wo ya. I was here transfer me free India,
yeah,
and I'm a buy any
yawo me wa ha.
It's your friend me, Rashid Kapon. Me boy.
Edi apeno no.
Edi amepe. Now Rashid Kapon, yatro nationality Indian. Ye we are ni abetro ni maami din ni papa din. Wo si enu ntimi nkyira se me ye Ghana ni ana me nya Ghana ni.
Yeah.
Wey wanu what me akotro se ni maami ni papa twa school fees. Tokonu ni papa no ye adwuma wo ye friend say Kofo Edua secondary technical. Oko wi ade ne pam no. Wey papa wey ne ba wey krono a obo ya ma ye twia papa yi so ka ma ye pam ni kwotena fia ene wawu aja Abraham wawu. Ye friend Abraham Kofi Saki. Ne ma no nyina mini momo omu nyina Ruby nom ne Ben nom ne mini momo. I know them. Oh, and we are see when obi anti island mu. And your connections with the MPP, everyone knows. Who doesn't know Tokonu so MPP ni? Who doesn't know?
Oh, who dem so MPP?
Why MPP ni? Who cares when MPP ni kwa no beyaka?
Hey, na some na me nim so MPP ni.
Why MPP ni papa?
Me nim so Chief Justice. Ne ye na be man ko fa ka se bi o MPP.
From the ne ye no, or ye jealous of say or ye party member. Or ye party member. And who play the role as a women organizer. And to that syndicate now, we create here to loot this state, you know. She was part of that syndicate. Judiciary will be any. Just say, I'm up for an ultimate trash here. Oma G, you say, okay, criticize it, Chief Justice, what but mine? The other, or there be sabi, was other, or your gas.
Yeah.
No painting, I mean, and you know, Omo a certain very primitive mentality. Once you be bought NDC so, and you be and I was here making sure say, not yet they destroy NDC. Sa adwem fin tantano enu ti na yedi nipa miensa eti akwa akosisi judiciary wa Supreme Court wo no we kona nipa miensa tisisi wo no me senka me ba be man pani dako me de grade abekwa kodua yam amele no look sad ye see in a democracy ana
Debbie
see in a military junta who are good for the work nipa ngoche. In a democracy, you didn't find the need to put their heads at the Supreme Court. It's something that I'm calling on the NDC. Omuntu sa nipa miensa ni tino, sa nipa miensa ni tino omudi nkwasi asam de ti, sa judiciary ni mu no. Sa nipa miensa no, odim, at some point, opese okra kosua law. Wa wodi wa adwen ekosua mra na da ati wodi abo obra na wodi aboa nkofo ama omo so abra abo aye beta no na yebusa o say na wo nana bi ye lawyer na wo fa bi ye lawyer na wo papa bi ye lawyer na uko interview na yebusa sa kwasi asem we nyina eduru maybe masofo yakufu me chena bo so sa as a Chief Justice say adan ya wonte ase say a lawyer for ne do so organ na adodo adan mu pacho law ne ye boma law ne ye boma and omode ti honum na omama e honum akoye to say MPP dia uko Ghana Bar Association such stupid association, very useless association. Look at the presidents of the Ghana Bar Association and look at their political inclination. Unya MPP you don't matter.
Okay.
It be Biana Koya centralized in a certain you say, yeah, MPP for where would your pastor the MPP lawyer? MPP lawyer be a bon, onimumra, onim judge. Onimumra, onim judge. Because Obekwa Kone judge at Nasia catcher some MPP ni, it's near the assembly man. And this lawyer, you have to be an extra sharp, brilliant student to pass. When you my MPP for, I did DNDC for our law school, I will Ghana. Mommy, way, on one and in charge of your friend is a Ghana law report. Now, I'm to be the year, I could follow the dear law report to me, to say editor or editing newspaper. Not what the front page about. I need the open at to anymore. I don't know how does that make a Kufado a brilliant lawyer without a certificate. Near budget so obey your lawyer, Ogana Hay. A day in a Ogana Hay, I bet me say was so a human rights lawyer. No, again, a chaser, he was a human rights activist. Some would destroy a democracy under the cloak of a certain. Your friend is saying, and me, Chief Justice, and I mean, I'm here with Obana Yam Pamono.
All right.
What's that? Because where a dear Ghana phone time focus on. Who is me? What do you make a quarter of a member? Wouldn't be here. May men conquer general moving country, me say, maybe a crown for Abraham, say the Pacron where we escape. A two pound my judgment to be a warrior, be our young family conquer one come for. Member. Me no money.
Okay.
The trust in the judiciary, and only the pivot around which democracy revolves.
Okay.
So me wo susuyepa. Say that be said my adwuma bi na bia. Esinto bia ba ho obi de makokota. Say wo say me ko. Not judge. I can't asem no
French name.
Na judge ono se me birth certificate. Et me tell say me Ghana ni we nipa. I mean ko Ghana ni man nka me say brentre me. Do you know the sanctity of that institution? They play the God in the lives of the Ghanaian. Okay. It is so 18 year friend of my Lord. But Sani Pano, if he becomes your Satan, why do you have to refer to him or her as your Lord? I don't think the media be who say. Wait, or my penny my way. Say, and come by an constitution, no. It be a chapter, an article way, an clause to say, Chester man penny, who needs to me, say, what to me, yes, I did we, and a why. Listowel will come and say, man penny. I don't know, person we are lawless. Knowing what they have done, knowing how they have just impoverished the state by robbing from the coffers of the state what it belonged to the state, you know. And I could for those status or she said judge for or packing people for judge for you have go Supreme Court, you have go High Court, you have go Appeals Court, you have go your friend is saying circuit court. It is an NDC ni NDC abai we upa mo fa sem court is here. Ye man 3 months. Omba broskota say not to baby cry. And you know the reset agenda no me dey me feel say the pivot now. Who here to reset a judiciary. Okay. And sana me parliament in assembly your man. Yes, parliament or Sinto baby. Executive Sinto ho. Ono kwa the affair was as into Sinto nyamai. But Sinto dey a batani pa ho. But we no enye to say bia why mistake o. Wo mo bom tiri mu poso mbedi bone. Ombe ya dream. Ombe nioma ensem fata. Sani pa no mo ye ekuo no mo that criminal syndicate, you know, you must make sure say by any means necessary. Okay. We trainer the Akaya Homa. Say, Matis, judicial secretary knows why so resign. Is it true?
Some and
what resign? How resign? Now, now, reset agenda. No, you share Quaya, a bit in your first one. You better reset your Magana for any institution in Mujidi. Send you be the list of court. Obey to me appear before court. No, we say, Obey justice. Papa. And you say, Obey me a court with the threats. And remember, NPP needs to make a choice. On your court. because or the coordinate threaten will know him say uko court wa ye be bu asem na gu so because onim judge no
okay
anasa rimi ya sa ni judiciary way akoye no upa akohwe a judge for no a lawyer for no mu di asem a no mu twa bayire ni konkontene la pay one ho ahwan no kohwe chambers ani free Akufado chambers Etino ya kaso bi a lawyer ni a onye superior to any human being
yeah
enu ti na me mbu Ghana ba so me mu omo papa me mu omo sebi se bi kura because on sa na se president Mahama bai o makotia no wo de ma ho busumi nsia enuma na Akufado ya ne west o mesase aka ho asem and so Akufado ya mampani did you hear Ghana Bar Association speak to anything?
No.
Me ami nua ya a champion. Wa mo wada. When enim SK Buafuba, when enim so MPP ni. Na ya tena ho na NDC force so mutimi ntiba association bi. Association ya force. Onu nti na me say constitution review ya ye be ye no. Sa Ghana Bar Association ya ma no sam notoriety bi wo constitution no. Omo delete omo fa ayi eraser.
Am people film.
And men taking Tungu baby cry. A very useless institution. Omo more democracy no. They are very selfish and self-centered. And MPP for NA omukuo, and NDC for ku, and Ghana ku. Ghana Bar Association is a NPP for the tier. That is a Christian Council. A NPP for the tier. A Timo NDC for no. If you want to have a friend is a democracy play in a very nice manner, you have to bring about rivalry. Montimukuo, the true Ghana Bar Association. No, be able to say where you nyansafo ko na kwasiafo ni nie. Separate yourselves from the chaff. Let the grains stand out. Okay. And the chaff also stand in the baby. You know the baby.
The baby.
Moving forward, no.
Yeah.
Chief Justice Adiano, me say, and yet constitution ama a year. Like I don't hammer just by a stroke of a pen or try to cement papers with their left hand.
Okay.
One more man, when you say card there and could just Tom and win. I found no market to me the Asema bedroom neck and they are a money judgment. Now LGBT and here and collect to Mutu, yet the collect books about yet the other two and him. It took more than about 1.5 years. Now assembly the whole. All because on person Akufado crab sign.
Yeah.
Last minute Akufado no or bow out no. Afena, my judgment no. Moi.
Okay.
And or you more partisan than a Juma. I was say oh yeah.
Okay.
On self attack. And the earlier they sack her, the better.
Me da say ni yankwamra na because ye tisimu no stopping no no stopping eti innocent we rap and I call we no so direct
yeah I think
then our press conference no who said you pia three for back for the top from sa ko ba ko gina nana b etiwo na GFK tiwo na we so tiwo afeyo market tiwo na nkrofo be se 4 se 5 bi si edin ba ko tuntum bi na me so signal afeyo market say a won say TV3 microphone si pia to twere pia to wa no musu pia to twere
we
video na ba stress asem kura ni
we winning nyansa media jet right one of the biggest platforms that we here party in opposition you need media. And Obi Mark, you are sending a message out there. Somebody is giving you coverage. Also, what I'm known through. And I make us say, you see, these people can never be taken serious. Yeah, the focus should be that. The focus should be straightforward.
Okay.
Ghana for our concerns about the judiciary. It's not about the Chief Justice. Yeah. It is not about the individual judges. It is about the sanctity of the system.
Yeah.
Because the whole essence of voting for John Mahama now stems from the fact that institutions have been compromised, and that there is the need for us to enhance them. Akufo-Addo was government was a corrupt government. It gave birth to a lot of bad institutions in another way. Time has come. as a clean in a corrupt government, what do you expect? Bad fruit and they give you birth to. So time has come for us to, young clean these institutions. The young people will play their games and we know them, that is what they are good at. Clutching at straws. I think the president must remain resolute. Yeah, you see, baby, I don't know. First, and judiciary, that nonsense, this stage, it doesn't happen. Now, no, let me tell you, we've been a soft be say, and then rant or mamba social media, crown or more pema. Now, be far work of a before. Let me say, generation, you can't threaten people with this, Mama Watana crown, I'm for you, Mama Watana, Cassa, Mama Watana, Cassa, I'm for you now, when you get Mama Watana. Yeah, so you see. Generation I woman no ye ni pass and I may judge and I may say no, it is about your deed you obey and I'm Ghana for need trust and confidence in these institutions. Yeah, to me I'm built here because these are the foundational institutions of our democracy. Your coercion, your integration, everything is contingent on these institutions. So at any point in time, if they begin to veer off, we need to bring them in line. So President Mahama Efeli, now when Timian sanitizes these six institutions, Ghanaians will be very disappointed in him because it is Ghana versus these people. You promise the people this is what you're going to do. He should stay focused and do. Fortunately, you've been given petition. You are going by the petition. President Enyam for Memra. His actions, everything there is in line. Senka adia oye, and our circumvent procedures are constitutional lady at her, and now all year near my basa now your position now will raise concern and come here, I will support you 100%. But as it stands now, they're by motive war because they know what they've done, they know where the woman is coming from, and they know the kind of biases. And I zoom it back. They share the nonsense that has happened within our judiciary. Will you be happy? Rulings in us for our course. How of us or panel? There are people on the Supreme Court. A panel, you buy 20 cry for them because Omunim said you are affiliated to this political party. There are people on the bench who have genuine concerns, and they even want this woman out. So you see, we need to build institutions that a bit gender trust. Confidence na man for nya hotoso say oh judiciary me the master koha you offer me way na at some point in time
judiciary yetimi na bonten kwa predictive ruling
na chief justice to kwan say all the data say the bottom afenyo mark ni issue ya wo kan ye kanokre MPP ni ya oye failed parliamentary candidate such a landmark issue speaker versus your friend say way na wakotam na ba betena way so omo Kenyan sasema wunti say or qualify. Who is talking about qualification? Yes. So I think that the posture, the tone, and then near my sabi and gender that trust. I mean, she need to have a sense of shame and resign at this point and go, so that you avoid all these things. Because this process, trust me, it will go through. No matter what happened, this process will go through. And evidence and I will petition, a valid, a absolute. She will go home. What the MPP is doing cannot save her. I think we need to remain resolute, focused, and deliver Sabaya Ghana for what is happening. Yeah, with this Galamsey issue, I think one thing, yes, a very serious in our approach. You see, over the years, and the soldier for from Rollins time up to now, we haven't been successful. So I think, in as much as I want us to take stringent measures, I am very front, I be dealing with these things. Individuals now they don't own sight, they don't own anything. These are people because of poverty, for the daily bread. So we are government, now your focus is on these people, you make a mistake. There are campaigns, they don't go into the site, they don't go.